Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're digging into something that sounds, well, really simple on the surface. It's just 3 words from an analysis of Mark 1.17.
That's right, an invitation. But when you unpack it, it reveals this profound kind of three-step blueprint for discipleship. It's quite fascinating, actually.
Okay, so set the scene for us. Where does this happen?
Well, the source material puts us right there by the Sea of Galilee. Jesus encounters Simon Peter and his brother Andrew. And they're not, sitting waiting for a revelation.
No, they're working. Right, fishermen.
Exactly. They're busy casting their nets, doing their everyday job, real-life, gritty stuff.
And right in the middle of that, their whole world shifts. Jesus calls out.
And the specific words our analysis focuses on are, "Come with me, and I will make you fishers of men."
It's that immediacy that gets me. The material really stresses how they just stopped. One moment, fish from the sea, the next, focusing on while drawing people into the kingdom of God.
It's a huge pivot, instantaneous. And that's really what we want to explore today.
Right. So our mission for this deep dive is to unpack the meaning packed into just that phrase, "come with me," because, as the analysis suggests, it's not just a command, it's a process, a 3-step process.
Exactly. It sets everything else in motion.
Okay, so let's start with that language nuance. Many translations say, "come follow me," or "come after me." Why does the source material zero in on "come with me"?
Well, the distinction is pretty significant, actually. Come with me, in the original sense, implies something much closer, much more intimate.
You mean like personal nearness, companionship?
Precisely. Think about it. It's not a shout from a distance like, "go over there," or just an order to do this task. It's an invitation to walk together, side by side.
Okay, so it's less like a general ordering troops and more like inviting a friend on a journey, a shared path.
Exactly. The source highlights that this wasn't initially about summoning servants for a job. It was fundamentally an invitation to relationship, to be companions first.
So the relationship has to come before the role, essentially. You can't really follow someone properly unless you're already walking beside them.
That's the core idea. And that naturally leads us to the very first step in this process.
Which is?
Simply coming to Jesus.
Okay, and the context here is key, right? Peter and Andrew were busy, they had things to do, nets in the water.
Totally preoccupied. It was their livelihood. And Jesus calls them right then and there. He doesn't wait for them to finish up or clock out.
So the first meeting is literally, "come here to me, draw near, now."
Yes, the source emphasizes this strongly. Before you can serve, before you can follow in any meaningful way, you have to first come to him. Close the distance.
Let's talk about those nets then. In today's world, what are the nets? The source material suggests they're, distractions, occupations.
They represent everything that holds our attention, our security, our identity, our jobs, our routines, maybe our worries, our financial plans, the things we cling to.
And dropping them is hard. That feels like the crux of this first step. It's not just leaving equipment, it's leaving your known world.
It's about control, isn't it? Dropping the nets means stepping away from your perceived stability, your competence, your retirement plan, like you said. Discipleship starts not with doing something for him, but with coming to him.
Which means letting go of those nets, at least enough to get close enough to actually hear what he's saying.
Exactly. Proximity is key.
Does that mean we have to sort ourselves out first? Get our lives perfect before we come, fix the finances, quit the bad habits?
Not according to this analysis.
Yeah.
Not at all. The invitation is to come as you are. Weary, burdened, distracted, messy. Peter and Andrew probably smelled like fish.
Probably.
They came right out of their work. And the point is, his presence is what starts the change. Drawing near is what quiets the heart, clears the vision, helps us see his will.
So it's about proximity, not perfection. I like that. Okay, so let's say someone takes that first step. They've come, they've drawn near, established that initial contact. What's next in this progression?
Well, once you're near, the invitation deepens. It moves into the second step, walking with Jesus.
Walking with him. So this is about companionship then, sustained closeness.
Yes, exactly. It's different from just popping by for a quick fix, getting forgiveness or a blessing and then heading straight back to the old nets. This implies continuity.
And for Peter and Andrew, this was literal, wasn't it? They left the boat and started physically traveling with him.
They did. They shared the road day in, day out, hearing his teaching, seeing his actions, learning his heart up close. It was a shared life.
So translating that for us today, walking with Jesus means staying close daily, not just on Sundays.
Right. It involves those steady practices, talking with him prayer, listening to him through the word, through discernment, and, importantly, walking in obedience.
But an obedience that flows from that closeness, right?
Yeah.
Not just rule following.
Exactly. It stems from the relationship, from love and trust built over time, not just obligation. It's about keeping pace with him, not rushing ahead or lagging behind.
That sounds challenging, especially today. The source talks about the noise of life. That feels very real.
Oh, it's huge. The constant clamor of notifications, work demands, social media, family responsibilities, endless voices pulling for our attention.
And that noise makes it hard to hear the quieter voice, the one you only hear when you're close.
It absolutely does. It drowns it out easily.
Yeah.
So guarding that quiet fellowship becomes essential.
How do we do that, practically speaking? What does guarding that walk look like?
Well, it takes intention. Sacrifice, really. You can't walk closely with someone if you're always looking at your phone or chasing the next urgent thing.
So, setting aside dedicated time, prioritizing that communication with him, prayer and reflection, even when it's inconvenient.
Yes, living guided by his presence moment by moment, rather than just reacting to whatever screams loudest. It's about letting that companionship shape your steps, teach you patience, build your faith.
Okay, I want to push on this slightly. If walking involves steady obedience, how is it truly distinct from the third step, which you mentioned involves surrender? Isn't obedience already surrender?
That's a great question. The difference lies, I think, in the motivation and the depth.
Yeah.
Walking, the companionship stage, is where obedience shifts from duty to devotion.
Ah, okay.
You obey because you're with a friend. You've come to know and trust deeply. You've seen his character. You've experienced his wisdom on the shared road. It's relational. The walk is where you learn why his way is best.
So it's like the training ground for deeper trust, where faith grows through shared experience.
Precisely. It prepares you for that final, deepest step.
Which brings us to number 3, following Jesus.
Yes. And this step fundamentally shifts the dynamic again. Jesus is no longer just a companion you walk beside. He becomes recognized fully as leader, Lord, and King.
Okay, this sounds like where the real cost kicks in. Following implies surrender. That's a word many of us struggle with. We like our independence.
We definitely do. And following him means yielding that independence. It's surrender to his will, his timing, his direction, completely, without reservation.
So for us today, that means what? Giving up control of the life plan, the career trajectory, the 5-year goals.
Essentially, yes.
Yeah.
It means acknowledging his right to set the agenda, trusting his path even when it feels uncertain or confusing or, frankly, uncomfortable, even when you can't see the destination.
You mentioned Peter and Andrew walked with him for years. Why use following specifically for this ultimate stage? Weren't they already following?
In a sense, yes, but following here signifies a complete directional alignment. When you walk with someone, you're side by side, but you might still have your own ideas about detours or shortcuts.
Okay.
Following in this ultimate sense means actively turning away from your own path, from sin, from self-centeredness, from the allure of the world's priorities. It's choosing his direction unequivocally.
So it's about whose agenda ultimately rules, my ambitions or his kingdom purpose?
Exactly. It's aligning fully under his authority, trusting that his plan is infinitely better than our own, even when it costs us.
Wow, okay. That puts those 3 simple words, come with me, in a totally different light.
It really does.
So just to recap the flow based on this analysis. First, you come, that's about establishing the relationship, drawing near.
Mm-hmm.
Then you walk with him, that's about cultivating daily companionship and trust.
Right.
And finally, you follow him, which involves total surrender to his leadership and direction.
Come, walk, follow. Relationship, companionship, surrender. That's the progression.
And the amazing thing is that initial invitation, come with me, it's not just ancient history, is it?
Not at all. The source suggests it's an enduring call. It's still being extended right now, especially maybe to those of us who feel like we've drifted a bit or we're tangled up in our modern-day nets.
Our jobs, our worries, our plans, the things that keep us busy and maybe keep us at a distance.
Exactly. The message is that he's still there, near the shore of the heart, calling gently, come here, come with me.
It's an invitation to shift from just toil, from the daily grind, to something with eternal purpose, all sparked by those few words.
It truly is.
So maybe for you listening right now, perhaps you feel caught in those nets, the workload, the anxiety, the need for control. Jesus is calling, come.
And that leads us perfectly into a final thought, something to mull over drawn from this material. If that very first step is always coming, and coming requires loosening our grip on our nets.
Our security, our control.
Right, what specific net might you be holding onto so tightly today that it's actually keeping you from drawing near, preventing you from hearing that call to walk and ultimately to follow?
Something to think about until our next deep dive.